Amanda here from Create Your Future. Guys, I have Simran joining me today. Hey, Simran.
Hi, Amanda.
For guys, anyone that's new here, my name's Amanda. I am a NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, EFT practitioner, as well as a certified life coach. And Simran has a background in psychology. She is a mindset and success coach, as well as an EFT practitioner, guys. So we have an exciting video on how to always be chosen. I think this is something that really shows up in our lives, you know, when there's like a third party. So obviously we're not being chosen or we're not getting the job. Simran's actually got a success story that she is going to share with us today about getting chosen with one of our clients, which is really exciting. And we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can change your self-concept to be always chosen. So just before we dive into it, guys, I know you guys manifested this. Simran's having a sale, 50% off her coaching right now. Absolutely amazing. Our clients are getting success. As well as, guys, we have a free course, How to Identify Your Blocks to Find Anything Fast. It's going to help you to build your mental diet, because your thoughts are everything. Your thoughts create your reality. What you focus on is what shows up in your reality. Your 3D reality is just a reflection of your previous thoughts. So if you want to change what you're seeing in your reality, we change our thoughts. And that course is going to help you to build a great mental diet and keep you on track. A lot of people are getting a lot of great results from it. The other thing is, and me and Simran did a video on this before, you know, of what you consume, you know, every day is going to help you. So we have a Facebook group, Create Your Future with Amanda, Law of Attraction Hacks. It is all about success stories. So you can go there and read them. And when you're reading them, you're actually creating them for yourself as well. So surround yourself with positive stuff and positive people, and you'll start to see positive changes in your reality, right? So also you can comment under our video and send in any questions or video ideas, and we'll send them off to the coach. So, and they can help them to come up with videos ideas, because now we know what you want to see, right? So definitely a way to get your voice heard. So yeah, guys. And also, you know, I want to say thank you so much for being here. You know, it's like such a blessing for me and my team to be able to help you change your lives. And that's why we give away so much in our videos. So please definitely comment. And remember, this is a safe space. We are going to delete any negative comments, okay? Before you probably even see them, because, you know, this is a safe place. So only be supportive and helpful to one another here, okay? So let's dive into it, Simran. I'm so excited.
Thank you. Yes, so it's a job success story about being chosen from a client. And this client has always been very good in terms of her technical knowledge, I would say, in terms of her communication skills. She's always been a confident person in her life. But when it came to this job, so the thing was, she was in a B school, and they have these placement seasons going on. So whenever she would sit for a company, because she was knowledgeable, her comm skills were on point, she was confident, so she would always clear all these rounds, but she would always get stuck on the last round. So basically, there were always two people in the last round, and the other person would get selected. So this happened once, this happened twice. So she sat in around 4 to 5 interviews, and this happened with her in all these 5 situations. Different companies, different roles, but the same pattern repeated for her in these 5 companies. So then she came to me and we talked, and we figured out that we talk about being second best or these third party situations, so common in relationships, but they can also show up in other areas of your life. For example, a job. So she was experiencing second best behavior with respect to her job. So she was not being chosen when it came to this job. So like you put your person on a pedestal, she was putting this job on a pedestal. And, you know, you forget that, I mean, you remember that you're a conscious creator, but just when you come to that last point, somewhere in your mind, you start giving free will to the recruiter, to the company. And you feel maybe they will choose the other person for whatever reason, because you saw it once, you saw it twice, and you just ended up absorbing it. And now that became your truth because you churned it so much in your head. And, you know, you start experiencing it time and again, time and again. So we really had to dig in and figure out, because she was so flourishing in all other areas of life. But this sudden job thing just came up and, you know, just it shook her because it had never happened before. But 1 experience, 2 experience, and she started internalizing it. And that started becoming her reality, her everyday experience, basically. So you got to be mindful that being chosen is you choosing yourself. Remember, you are the creator of your reality. You're the only person with free will. So we do not give free will to our specific person, to the recruiter, to the money, to anything or anybody else outside of yourself.
Oh my God, so true. I mean, so not being chosen can show up and can be created in a couple different ways, right? You can create it as your self-concept with just plain old I'm not good enough. So for instance, me myself, I've always had a great self-concept in relationships. I've always been chosen. I've never actually not gotten a relationship, and everybody knows my history with Andrew is that he had baggage, right? And he wasn't ready. And so this was the first time I wasn't being chosen in a relationship, but it wasn't my self-concept. It was my assumption about men that were previously married. But let's change that. Now let's look at, another situation, actually me coaching. In the beginning, I had imposter syndrome and I didn't feel like I was good enough as a coach. And that was the funny thing. So in that situation, I wasn't being chosen because I needed to start saying, I'm good enough. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. Right. And, so where are you created not being chosen? It could be just a simple thought, or it could be deep down your core of your self-concept. Now, your self-concept will, is in relation to whatever you're actually, situation. So my self-concept as a girlfriend and a wife was a lot different than my self-concept as a coach in the beginning, right? Now I know I'm the absolute best. I know that, right? Sorry guys, you've told me too many times, right? But but you know what? It's nice to be really good at something that's changing people's lives, right? So, and it's true. We give free will away. We got to stop giving free will. You know what? I'm going to be chosen for that job. I'm always chosen in the relationship. You know what? I'm the best girlfriend. I'm the best employee around. I always get chosen for the promotion, blah, 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 blah. I always, Angela says, I've always got favor. Everybody always favors me, right? That's another good one, right?
Yes. Yeah. So believing in yourself and saying affirmations like I am always confident, I am always secure, I am always chosen. I am the person I'm the only person with free will in my reality. So that I think is a common reminder with respect to any situation you're in, anything that you're manifesting, because the moment you stop thinking or coming from the state of being the only person with free will, you do end up consciously or subconsciously giving the other person, a free will. And that's when the situation gets out of hand. And you start thinking, oh, I'm doing my assumptions, I'm doing my intentions, I'm on my mental diet. But then subconsciously, you're not believing it because you think the command is in the other person's hand.
Right. Well, and that's so, that's so true. It was just yesterday, Andrew went to the office and I was thinking about something and then I mentioned it. And when he came home, he was like, oh, when I told him, he's like, I was thinking about that on the drive home too. I was like, yep, everyone is you pushed out. And in that moment, I'm like, Amanda, you need to smarten up and get on top of your thoughts. Knowing, and having those moments where it's just really real. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, everyone's you pushed out. That's what keeps me thinking positive and gets me back on track, is having those little moments. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm a little bit scared of my negative thinking and not catching it because I know it creates, right? We say it's okay to react, but you're creating in that moment that you're reacting. You want to manifest faster? Stop reacting, right? Yes. Stop giving the power away by being upset at somebody else, right? It is what it is, right? Yeah, that's one thing. So working on that for the next 21 days, just stop reacting as well, and that's going to have yourself chosen as well, because once you react, you're no longer choosing yourself, right?
Exactly. And it's never, in most cases at least, a one thought or a one fleeting thought, and then you end up experiencing it in such a big situation. Because you've been absorbing it from somewhere or the other, whether you know it or you don't know it, maybe from somebody from your family, a friend, something you watched on the television, and it's ingrained in somewhere in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind does not differentiate between what should it push out and what it should not be pushing out, because it says yes to you, yes, master. If this is what you want, if this is what you're telling me, that must be what you're wanting to experience, right? So I will show it to you in your reality. So it keeps pushing out, and then you keep reacting to it. It pushes out even more because this is what you want.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. That's really what it is, right? It could have been one little thing, and then all of a sudden it's this big thing now, and we've made it even bigger by reacting to it, and I mean, so I challenge everyone for the next 21 days, right? Think only on positive things about what you want and keep your mind on that, as well as, avoid reacting and getting upset at anything for 21 days, right? Remind yourself that everyone is you pushed out, that they're just acting the way that you've commanded them to, right? And do that little list, of manifestations.
Correct. And don't take anything personally, because it's an old story playing out today. So if in the present moment you understand how this works, you understand you're the conscious creator, you're the one calling all the shots. So why react? Because we don't want to end up revising a lot of stuff, a lot of things. So you decide in this very moment that I am done whatever I've done because it's happened already. We can't do anything. But from this moment on, I will only create what I want to experience going forward. That I am the creator of my reality. Everything is always working out in my favor. Everyone and everything is me pushed out. So if you come from that point of place, even your mind stops questioning because it knows what you're trying to do. You've done it so many times.
Exactly. You know, and here's an example. If you've got a third party and you're reacting to it, there you're giving that your power. You're no longer staying true to your 4D, the story that you want, because you have to convince yourself and be good with it in here before it's going to show up out there. If you're constantly, you know, reacting to the 3D, you're just basically yelling at the mirror and trying to like change the reflection in the mirror without actually changing yourself. Like, you know, it's like I said before, it's like trying to comb your hair on the mirror and not on your head. You need to take it inside, right? And I know it can be hard sometimes. I know it can be hard. And I know influences around you would be like, no, he's no good. He's gone off with somebody else or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's why there's coaches here. Like Simran's going to help you to be able to like, you know, change your story, give you personalized intentions and an action plan and support you and to keep you accountable. Like it's so magical when you can spend an hour changing your story and focusing on yourself, how quickly that'll help you to change things in your reality. And remember, nobody can manifest anything for you. It's completely up to you to do the work and put the work in. But I believe in every single one of you guys, and I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Exactly, because everyone is you pushed out. You push out success as well. So when you look at somebody, don't look at them as if, you know, they have it. And why do I don't have it? So because that is a scarcity mindset. There's more than enough to go around for all of us in all areas of our life.
Exactly.
You don't have that scarcity thoughts or in a voice come and tell you that, you know, that person has it. Why don't I have it? Something's wrong with me. I am not good enough. I am this and that. So you go back to all your previous experiences of not being good enough, of not being chosen, and take it to heart. And then off the new story goes of not being chosen again.
Exactly. Well, this is it, right? You know, the more we react to something, the more power we're actually giving it, right? You know, I mean, I know some people say, okay, well, I'm going to let myself react for, you know, 5 minutes and then I'm going to get back on it. You know, you can be disciplined like that. But I mean, you know, I think it's more of a lifestyle to sit back and take the observer point of view, you know, and to be like, okay, well, you know, I'm angry. Why am I feeling angry? Right. And then, you know, having that moment and, okay, well, is that story really real? Is that really true? You know, and then really questioning it. If you want to see the good in people, you want the good out of people, you got to see the good in them. If you don't want to be disrespected, don't make anyone's behavior mean they're disrespecting you, exactly. Right? Because the meaning you give anything is everything. And the meaning you give things will cause emotions. Okay, so, you know.
Even attaching meanings. For example, when I attach meanings, no matter what I see around me, I attach meanings that, you know, if I see a dog on the road, my manifestation is coming. If I see it's a windy day today, then I'm going to hear from my SP or I'm going to get this much money in my account. So attaching meanings to anything and everything, because the entire nature is working in you, with you, for you, and not against you. So you make everything work in your favor because you're the creator and it's being pushed out from you and not outside to inside.
Exactly. I love that. That's so amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, Simran. And guys, I intend each and every one of you guys got something out of this video 100%. So
yeah. Thank you.
We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.